What's up, Juventini? Alberto here. This is the AJC, your channel dedicated to the one and only Juventus. All right, and I've got all your news as we've got a big week ahead for Juventus, not just in deals, but even decisions coming that could shape up the entire mercado. So we've got Xerxes, Calafiori, Rabiot, Chiesa, Sule, and of course Thiago Motta all in the news, and some alternatives should one of those players not remain at Juventus out of Rabiot and Chiesa. So let's get into it. All right, first up, Juve trying to move both Milik and Keane, all right? And the thought is to make place for Xerxes. That is the plan according to the reports surfacing today. However, 40 million euros is what it's going to take to bring in Xerxes. We also have news that there is a meeting this week between Scanavino and Giuntoli to discuss the mercado window and the budget, etc., which is expected to be around 40 million euros before player sales. All right, so the Xerxes thing, again, we're hearing a lot that Juve is going to push for it, and this dates back to about 3 weeks ago when everybody did feel like he was going to Milan, and then all of a sudden it was say, hold on a second, it is not completely done and Juve is not giving up so easily. But 40 million euros there, getting rid of both Milik and Keane, that's not going to drum up the 40 million euros. And again, right now, other sales are going to have to make that move, but we have higher priorities. However, one of the other reports coming out of this is that Giuntoli is looking to bring in at least 5 players, one in every single position, apparently. So we will see what happens, okay? Calafiori, this is a decisive week, apparently, for the player. Hans Nicolucci, Caviglia, and even Barbieri are expected to be going the opposite direction in this deal. For me, this is a no-brainer. Bring in Calafiori, all right, and get it done yesterday. Giuntoli is looking at the move for Di Lorenzo, all right? So apparently the player has communicated to Napoli that he will not be remaining, and Napoli has given their willingness to deal the player. If the right offer comes along, they will move the player. Now, the kicker in all of this, Antonio Conte, who is expected to be Napoli's new head coach. He apparently has said no, according to Di Marzio, and said do not sell Di Lorenzo. But everything we're getting, and even Di Lorenzo's agent's own words, are that the desire is to leave Napoli. All right, we talked about this on the post-match after the final game of the season. Our thoughts, the majority is, yes, you bring in Di Lorenzo. We're talking about 20 million euros too. Yeah, what are you going to get for 20 million euros? I would make that move, all right? So you guys know the drill. Let me know in the comments. Now we get to Rabiot. There are meetings set to go down this week between Giuntoli and Adrian Rabiot's mother/agent on a deal. The belief is still there from Juve's standpoint that they could get a renewal there. However, should he not renew with Juventus, apparently there are 3 names that are at the top of the list for them to move on to. One is Fofana. The second is Kefren Turam. The third is Ugarte from PSG on a loan. If those were the 3 alternatives, I would think that we're all on the same page in going for Turam. Maybe some would be there for Fofana, but I think Turam, especially with that price drop, and I'm going to be quite honest, I wouldn't even look at the renewal for Rabiot, and I would just bring in Kefren Turam at that price tag, and I'm done with this constant battle over contract negotiations and 1 year here, 1 year here. Just end it and move on with something that could be long-term. Bring in Kefren Turam. Now we get to Chiesa. Even with the renewal, we knew, and we've been hearing for some time, that there is a potential for Chiesa to move on. We heard about Di Marzio's talk about Motta not wanting it. I'm not buying in on that. However, the rumors continue to suggest that both player and club could test the market regardless of a 1-year bridge renewal coming in. Liverpool, Milan, and Roma continue to monitor the situation with Federico Chiesa. All right, for me, when it comes to Chiesa, I can't see him wanting to go and play in England. All right. And then when it comes to Milan or Roma, whatnot, I just don't see the sense in leaving Juventus at this point in time. We get to his words after the Coppa Italia. He wants to win more trophies at Juventus with a new coach, a new setup, a new system coming in. I just don't make sense of Chiesa wanting to move at this point. And I think even based on his numbers, etc., performances, some injury concerns, I don't think he's going to get the numbers that he wants anyways. The 1-year bridge renewal and him remaining and putting it all on the line next season with a new coach and new setup is what I see going down. But of course, these rumors and speculation are going to circulate around Federico Chiesa, especially going through the Euros and this summer. I'm waiting for him to make some type of statement, and it probably isn't going to come until after the Euro tournament. But that's the latest with Federico Chiesa, is that potentially the market could be tested. And the latest states that Juve would be open to listening to offers. Sule, we know that there is a meeting this week as well coming for the player, and all signs are pointing to him being the main guy to fund a Mercado move, which would essentially go immediately to Coop Mainers or Calafiori. We talked about it earlier. The budget right now before sale, somewhere around 40 million euros. We have to find out if that is in fact the right number, but I bet you it's probably pretty damn close to it in either direction, okay? Sule, I was feeling that with the prospects we have in the attack, he could maybe stick around, but Motta, if there is any truth to the types of wingers he wants and everything, maybe, just maybe, he is okay selling Sule. That's going to be the kicker. What does Motta want? Because right now, it's a guessing game in media. Nobody actually knows. But Sule could still very well be on the move, and we're going to find out very, very soon what's going to happen with Sule. As for Thiago Motta, he has got all the documents transferred to him, and we could see that signing finalized this week, and we're all expecting it to go down and be announced this week. That is your news break to today, May 27th, everybody. You guys know the drill. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, share the content, but the best part for me is always mixing it up with you. Let me know in the comments how you feel about all the news you just heard here today. What do you think is going to go down with Rabiot? What do you think is going to go down with Chiesa? Who do you want out of those 3 alternatives for Rabiot? Is there a different name you want to see come in? And Sule, selling him, yes or no? Has your mind changed? Let's go. Let's mix it up. I'll be back tomorrow with another update. As always, fino alla fine, forza Juventus. Ciao tutti.